perfect places to start that every RVer should be doing. Hey there, welcome to RV Gear & Far. I'm Joshua, and today we want to talk about the top tips to keep your RV secure when you're not with it, whether that be in storage at your house, at a storage facility, or while out boondocking. So let's start out with an obvious acknowledgement. With enough time and persistence, any RV can be stolen, no matter how you secure it. Let's start off with the first one, which is, in my opinion, the most important. So the first tip in preventing your RV from being stolen is actually what you would do in the event that it did get stolen, and that's keeping an insurance policy. I know you're not out camping with your rig, I know you're not out adventuring, it may be in storage, it may be on the side of your house or in a shed. Keeping a current and up-to-date insurance policy on your rig is something that is super inexpensive to do and really is worth the time and investment to keep all year, regardless of whether you're actually out camping in your rig. At the end of the day, our RVs are awesome adventure vehicles, but they are just things. And ultimately, it just allows you to sleep better at night, knowing that if something were to happen to it, it would not be a catastrophic loss for your family. After getting your insurance policy in place, you're going to want to think about where you physically put your RV. Is it going to be in a locked and secured storage facility? Is it going to be in your driveway? Is it going to be out on some family land that just has a barbed wire fence around it? What kind of surveillance? Is there motion detection lights? Are there cameras involved? Just getting different options and thinking about what kind of places that you could store your RV. Obviously, a secured, monitored indoor facility is probably the best because out of sight, out of mind, but ultimately that's not available to everyone. But just be considerate that the different levels of security of the physical location that you're storing your RV play a lot into how secure the RV is going to be and even encountering a situation where it could get stolen. And now when we talk about securing RVs, the obvious place to start is how the RV, if it's towable, gets hooked up to the vehicle. So there's lots of different hitch pin locks you can use. There's ones that drive through the hole on the coupler. There's some that go into the ball mount and have a U-shaped bolt that slide over the top. And if you're interested in investing a little bit more into the lock to protect your RV, there's locks that slide over the entire ball coupler and ties up the safety chains so that no one can pick up and move the RV just by the safety chains alone. Now, if you're not interested in spending the money on a puck lock that also ties up the chains, make sure you tie up your safety chains. Don't just let them hang on the ground, because someone could come in, hook up the safety chains to their hitch, drive down the road, then deal with all of your locks later. So getting a lock on that coupler pin, getting a lock in the ball hitch, and getting a lock all around your chains are three perfect places to start that every RVer should be doing. And there's a ton of locks out there based off of how much you're interested in spending. But ultimately, again, we're trying to get more time. We're trying to deter theft by making it frustrating to steal your RV. So the more obstacles that have to be overcome, the less desirable your RV is. So any lock is better than no lock just because it takes a little bit more time. Now I know what you guys are saying. Yeah, but with battery technologies and cordless angle grinders, all these locks are pretty much futile. Yes, you're right. But again, we're going for time. Ultimately, we just want to make it a hassle to steal the RV so that thieves and two-legged rats just go and do something else. Now, moving back to the wheels of the RV. If you've got a tandem or a triple axle trailer, X-Chocks are awesome for stabilization of front to back while you're camping. But they're also a really good theft deterrent. Tighten them down, and then all these little holes at the top, you can throw a little padlock in there. And they also add one more layer of theft deterrence because of the time it would take to get them out. Also look at adding locking lug nuts to your RV, making the tires hard to take off so that when we go ahead and we chain the wheels to the suspension or to the frame, that the wheel can't just be taken off. A wheel boot, such as parking enforcement would use, are also another option that are available. Those are pretty big and bulky and cost prohibitive, but they are another option. And if you're enjoying this video and you like RV gear, tips, tactics, how-tos, gear comparisons, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We've got a lot of cool videos coming and a lot more to cover. I've also seen some people suggest that they put their RV up on blocks and they take the wheels home with them so that a thief would have to bring wheels with them in order to steal their RV. Another option you could do is to put the stabilizer jacks down, either all the way, which does have the downfall of allowing pests or rodents to climb up them, or put them down partially. Anything hanging down low off the RV, if someone's gonna steal your RV, they don't wanna destroy it in the process, right? So having your stabilizer jacks down would require them to go either really slow or watch out for encumbrances within the road, and ultimately just be one more thing they'd have to do to raise those stabilizer jacks in order to pull your RV down the road. Consider chaining your RV to something solid. If you've got a way to put in a concrete anchor in the ground, or if there's a steel pole where you store your RV, you can chain the RV physically to another structure. Or if you have another trailer or another vehicle, you can park it and basically pin the RV into the parking spot, so that in order to get the RV out and steal it, you'd have to move 2 or 3 different pieces of equipment in order to get to it. So pinning the RV in with the structure and or other objects is another tactic that a lot of people use. So a lot of the things in your RV need electricity, usually 12-volt power, in order to either raise the landing gear on your fifth wheel, raise the stabilizers on a motorized drivable, or put the tongue jack up and down on a travel trailer. So if you remove the battery and you have no 12-volt power, all those things would have to be done manually. And then again, you'd have to have the right equipment, the socket sizes or the wrenches specifically for your stabilizers or your landing gear, and then you'd have to have the time. So again, we're just adding more frustration, more time, and deterring theft. If you are going to leave your battery in your RV, consider removing some fuses. The fuse in between the tongue jack and the battery on most travel trailers is a really good inconspicuous spot to disconnect the circuit. Pull that fuse out, and then the tongue jack will not work even if someone has a battery to hook up to the RV. They then have to trace down why the RV is not getting power and why that tongue jack isn't working. And it just, again, I'm becoming a broken record, but adding more time to the towing process. A battery disconnect is also a great idea. Now, if you've got a drivable RV, you can consider removing or unplugging a spark plug or having a mechanic install a kill switch in some inconspicuous place. That way, if someone does get in and they try to hotwire the car, you're still not gonna get electricity to where it needs to go because of the kill switch that wasn't installed by the manufacturer, or a component that is disconnected that does not allow the engine to run. If you've got a manual tongue jack that's got a crank handle, consider removing that handle, figuring out how to replace the handle with some sort of cotter pin so that you can put it on and take it off. Removing that handle will then make it almost impossible to raise and lower the tongue of the RV to get it hooked up to a thief's vehicle. Another obvious thing would be to lock your doors. Lock all of the entry doors into the RV and also all of your compartment doors. Now, a lot of RVs are unfortunately keyed alike from the manufacturer. So the key that opens my baggage doors could also open your baggage doors, or the key that opens my front door could also open your front door. So installing a keyless lock or an aftermarket lock on your entry doors is a really good idea. I like the keyless locks because during the camping season, we don't have to carry keys with us when we run out to go to a hike or a bike ride. And switching out the baggage door locks as well keeps the things in your RV locked, stored, out of sight, out of mind. And by having an aftermarket lock on there, you avoid having the common keys that are unfortunately used on many of the RV locks. If you've got generators, fuel tanks, or propane tanks on the outside of your rig, make sure those are secured as well. Things like drilling a simple hole through the holders of your propane tanks and dropping in a padlock there would, again, require a bit more effort than just unscrewing the wing nut to get those components off, and would deter theft just for the sake of adding frustration. Make sure that if you do lock your propane tanks in a fifth wheel, that you don't switch out the baggage door thumb locks and put in actual lockable tumblers, because you need to have access to the valves on your propane tanks. You want to make sure that if there's ever an issue that someone forgot or whatever, that you can quickly and easily access those to shut them off. Even though they would be hard to remove the tank, you want to make sure that they're not locked in a compartment where you can't get to the valves. Cameras are another viable option. We're getting Wi-Fi cameras or game cameras that you can install inside, outside, and around your RV that could give another added layer of protection. Again, it's just adding layer upon layer upon layer. We're going for the onion effect. We're adding one thing after another to make our RV less desirable and therefore frustrating to even think about stealing, and thieves move on. Another really important thing is to document any sort of unique things about your RV. So if you've got any decals on the outside, or if you've done any renovations on the inside, something that if your RV was found somewhere that you could prove it was yours, document those things and or consider adding them. You might also consider adding your name and telephone number in an inconspicuous place under the frame of the RV or at the top of a cabinet, something that you'd be able to tell a law enforcement officer 4 times away. Say, hey, look here for this. It's gonna say X, Y, and Z, and they go there and it does. Just one more way to prove that a recovered RV might belong to you. And if your RV looks a little bit different than everyone else's, it's gonna stick out and therefore be less desirable. I've also heard some people recommend removing your license plates when you put your RV in storage. That way, if it is stolen, it's going down the road without a license plate, far more likely to get pulled over by the cops for not having tags. Putting a cover on your RV might also be a really good deterrent. Those covers aren't designed to be towed with, and so if your RV is covered, one, all of the accessories, baggage compartments, doors aren't accessible, and two, it would look really weird if someone's towing their RV down the road with the cover on it and it flapping in the wind. Again, just drawing attention. And the number one thing that opportunistic thieves don't like is attention. GPS trackers are also a really good idea. These can be hidden lots of places within the RV and would be a really good way to track your RV should it be stolen. There's a lot of different options out there. Pick and choose what works for you, your rig, and your location. And let me know down in the comments below, what additional things do you do to secure your RV and deter theft? That's all I have for today. Thank you for joining me on RV Gear and Far. Again, I'm Joshua. I'll see you on the next one.